Hello everyone, welcome to Purling Through Life. My name is Melissa and this is my channel all about knitting and crochet and yarn. I hope that interests you, and if it does, please stick around. I have a lot to share with you today. I hope everyone has had a wonderful week. And if you watched my video last week, you know that I have a plan to do a video a week, and I'd like to alternate those videos. So one week I will do a progress video where I'll share finished objects and works in progress, and other weeks I will share a video all about yarn things, but more like acquisitions, new patterns, things like that. So this week is a progress video, and I have 3 finished objects to share with you and 6 works in progress. My first finished object is a knit dishcloth, and it is from the kitchen sink shop. This is a free pattern, and if you sign up for their newsletter, she sends out a free dishcloth pattern once a month, and this is from the month December of 2024. I don't know how to pronounce the name of the pattern, so I will list that somewhere here on the screen. But this is done. This was part of my WIP parade, so that's one of my old works in progress finished, and as you can see, it seems to be reversible. It's not blocked, but that's okay. It's just a dishcloth. So there is this completed, and I happen to think these are perfect size dishcloths. So this is made with, I love this cotton from Hobby Lobby, which is a worsted weight yarn, and I do not know the name of it because I can't find the ball band, but it's a very nice soft yarn, and I used a 3.25 millimeter needle for this dishcloth, and I believe all the dishcloths, although I can't say for this year because I didn't do any dishcloths this year, but I did them for 2023 and 2024, and they all the patterns asked for worsted weight yarn and a 3.25 millimeter needle. My second finished object is a knit hat, and this is the High Seas hat written by Tayler Harris for Purl Soho. So this can be found on the Purl Soho website, and it's a free pattern. It is knit using the fisherman's rib, and this hat has not been blocked, and I did alter the pattern a bit. So it's supposed to have a folded over brim, but I didn't do that. And I shortened the rows in between the decreases. So you can't get the full effect of the decreases, but I didn't want the hat, this is a super bulky yarn, so I didn't really want to have a folded over brim. I thought it would just be too much. So the fisherman's rib, it looks a bit like brioche, but I really didn't like doing this. This is the first time I've ever used this stitch, and I was not a big fan. If you hear the vacuum cleaner, I think someone is cleaning something. So I apologize for that if you can hear it. So like I said, this is super bulky yarn, and it's an ice yarn. There's 150 grams. It is 30% Angora and 70% acrylic, and it's called Alpine Angora Color. And I used an 8 millimeter needle for this. My final finished object is the Polar Pal. This is a free pattern that I found at Hobby Lobby. It was one of those hanging patterns that you find in front of the yarn that you just pull off and take home. And this was also a part of my WIP parade, so this is done, and it's just darling. I absolutely love this. This is one of my most favorite amigurumis I've ever made. He's so sweet, and I told everyone I'm keeping him. He's mine. He's just adorable. So this is made the body of the penguin is made with cotton. I love this cotton, which is a worsted weight yarn. And I used a 4 millimeter crochet hook. And then the hat and the scarf is made with Baby Bee Sweet Delight yarn, which is a number 3. And I used a 5 millimeter hook for that. Oh, he's just sweet. I love him. I absolutely adore him. And let's see, that's it. So it's a free pattern, And actually, all of my finished objects were free patterns. So there we go. Those are all of my finished objects. So next we will go to my works in progress, and I have 6 of them. My first works in progress is living in this bag by Nomadic Yarns, and this is the Mystery MusiKAL by Stephen West. It's the 2025 Mystery Knit Along that began and ended in October. There are 4 clues, and I am on clue 2. Here's my progress. And this part here is clue 1, and this here is clue 2. And these are called squiggles, and they're supposed to be 9, and I have just started the 5th. But here's my progress. All of this yarn is Miss Bab's yarn, and I can't pronounce the base. I'll put it down here on the bottom, but it's fingering weight yarn, and it is 100% superwash blue-faced Leicester wool. There we go. There are 4 colors. And yep, that's it. That is my first works in progress. And the needles, I'm using 3.5 millimeter needles. My second works in progress is living in this bag by Cottontail Farms. And this is called the Gathering Seashells Shawl by Rachel Keener. And here is my progress. All of this yarn is Moon Glow yarn. It is their Coral Cove collection. So I have finished all of the stripes, and I am on to the lace. The Coral Cove collection, I got the sock set, which comes with a 100-gram skein of yarn, 75/25 superwash merino wool. It's fingering, and then there are 6 10-gram minis that come with it as well, and I've striped in 5 of the minis, which is what the pattern calls for. And then you do a bit of lace, a bit more than that, and then you do more striping of the last mini, which looks like this, if I can find it. Yes, here it is. And that'll be the last color in the shawl. And I'm using 3.5 millimeter needles. I love these colors. They're not normally my colors, but I'm really loving this, and I really love Moon Glow yarn. It's a new favorite of mine. My next works in progress is another shawl, and it's living in this bag by Forbidden Fiber Co. This is the final shawl I have to show you though, and this is the One Love Mystery Shawl by Joji Locatelli. Currently, this is a mystery knit along. The 4th clue just came out today, but I am still on the 3rd clue. I am almost done, and here is the progress. So this is mainly garter, but there is some lace, and it's another fingering weight shawl. And I have 4 more rows to go of the garter stitch, and then I will start another lace section. The needles are a 4 millimeter needle. The pattern recommends a 4.5 millimeter, but I decided to go down a needle size and use 4 millimeter. And look at how it's just gonna block out. It's just gonna stretch so much. I definitely think it was a good idea to go down a needle size because I am a loose knitter. And I think a 4.5 millimeter would have just been, I don't think I would have liked the fabric so much. And this yarn is by Less Traveled Yarn. Here's what I have left. And this also is a 75/25 superwash merino wool nylon. And the colorway is Plumeria. And there we go. My next two works in progress are both socks, and the first one is living in another Cottontail Farms bag, and this is a vanilla sock, and it's knit with fingering weight yarn. Here is my progress. I'm using 2.25 millimeter needles. I knit my socks cuff down. I cast on 64 stitches, do a 2x2 rib for 15 rounds. The rest of the sock is about 93 rounds before I start decreasing for the toe. And then around the 20th row, I will cut in for an afterthought heel because I do prefer shorty socks. And this yarn, I hope you can see all the sparkles, is West Yorkshire Spinners Signature 4-ply. It's their Christmas colorway for 2025. It's called Mulled Wine, and I believe it's 75% wool, 22% nylon, or let me see, I better look at the label. 75% wool, 23% nylon, and 2% polyester. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do the heel and toes in a contrasting color or not. I haven't decided, but I just love it. So that is my first sock. My next sock is living in this bag by Forbidden Fiber Co. And I got this bag last year in the Advent box for 2024. And this sock is called the Cider House Socks by Summer Lee. I'm really, really enjoying this. This is a sock with a cabled pattern. I am just loving it. So here is my progress. I am also using 2.25 millimeter DPNs for this, and I hope you can see the cable on it. So I am doing the medium size. There are 5 sizes. Small, let's see, I think child, small, medium, large, extra large, and I'm doing the medium size. And I have finished the leg. I didn't want it to be too long. I might have did fewer rounds than she suggested. I really don't like long socks, so I have that done. And then this is a heel flap and gusset, and I have all of the gusset decreases finished. So now I am just on to the foot of the sock, and basically you just keep the pattern on the top of the sock, and then the bottom of the sock is now just stockinette. And I love this. I'm really, really enjoying this. And my cute little progress keeper from Firefly Notes. Yes, I just love this. I am going to consider doing more patterned socks. I normally just do vanilla socks, but I'm really enjoying this. And all of this yarn is Leading Men Fiber Arts. Here is the main skein, which is Can't Quit You. And I believe all of this is, yes, all of it is on their Showstopper base, 75/25 Superwash Merino Nylon. And this is Can't Quit You. And then I'm using 2 minis, which are 20 grams. I think they're 92 yards. So this mini is Dust in the Wind, and this one is Red-Handed. So those are both of my sock whips. My last works in progress is also a new start, and it is living in this bag by Hannah Lou Designs. This is a knit hat. It's a free pattern that I found on the Purl Soho website. It's called the Traveling Cabled Hat. And here is my progress. So I'm still on the brim, and the pattern calls for you to knit 4 inches of the brim, and I have about 2 inches done here. And it also calls for worsted weight yarn, and 3.75 needles, which I am using for the brim, and then 4 millimeters for the body of the hat, and I'll be using that as well. So the yarn is Malabrigo Rios, which is a light worsted weight yarn. It's about 210 yards, and this colorway is English Rose. So I have a lot of people asking for hats. It's getting to be that time of year. So even though I don't need to be starting new things, this is the time to make hats, so I'm doing it. And this is very old yarn, so that's good. I'm diving deep into my stash. So there we go. That is my very last works in progress. It is so nice. I love Malabrigo. This is so nice. And it's DK, so it's working up, or I'm sorry, it's worsted weight, so it's working up pretty fast. Yes, so that is everything. Thank you all so much. If you've lasted this long, I really appreciate it. And if you liked this video, please consider subscribing and giving me a thumbs up. It does really help. And I will see you all next week. So until then, bye for now.